people the obvious messages. Get vaccinated if you're not vaccinated. If you look at the number of infections, hospitalizations particularly, and deaths among unvaccinated people compared to people who are vaccinated and boosted. And remember, Omicron is a virus that really requires 3 shots. You know, you need your 2 shots plus the boost. So the people who haven't been boosted, and remember, we only have 68% of the population have been vaccinated. 1/2 of them have received a single boost. And the thing that I find very disturbing, Major, is that the updated BA.5 4.5 variant, the 5.4 variant that we have, the new dated vaccine has been, of the people who are eligible to receive it, somewhere like 14% of them received it. Now,
and it's available. You can get it.
It's totally available. It's been available since the end of the summer, beginning of the fall. We've got to do better than that. And it's understandable that people are fatigued. We've had 3 years now where literally now this week in the United States, the realization of what was going on in China, we're now entering the 4th year of that. So it's understandable that people are exhausted, but there are things that you can do to protect yourself and your family and society. It's not only about vaccine. It's about prudent wearing of masks, not mandating. You say mandate people, you know, it's radioactive and they recall. But when you're in a crowded indoor setting, particularly when you're having an uptick of a new variant, it just makes sense to wear a mask. Family members in an unknown situation, a dinner or a social gathering, good ventilation. There are a lot of things that we can do to help protect us from what might be another surge.
You mentioned China. There are a couple of headlines also. One, the World Health Organization is very doubtful that China is reporting with any accuracy whatsoever the number of deaths currently experienced related to COVID in China. And there are now talk of travel restrictions on those leaving China. Your thoughts on both?
Well, certainly the Chinese, unfortunately, get very opaque when it comes to what's going on in their own country.
Have been throughout.
And they've been throughout. And there really is no reason to do that. It goes way back to the bird flu. It goes back to SARS-CoV-1. What has happened is that early on in the outbreak, the Chinese installed a very, very strict, somewhat draconian that will allow you to open up.
Right. Buy you time.
Buy you time.
Right.
Whether it's buying time to build hospitals and get ventilators for the sick people, or if it's buying you time to get your population vaccinated with a good vaccine, particularly the vulnerable, and the vulnerable mostly are the elderly. So what the Chinese did not do effectively is they did the draconian measures, but they didn't adequately get people vaccinated, particularly the elderly. They did that for so long, a very prolonged period of restrictions, that even in the authoritarian state of China, people just said enough is enough. So they began to rebel.
And protest across the country.
Protested across the country,
unusual.
Which is very unusual. The Chinese government got a little